we're like manifesting, like we have a big X on the floor and we're like giant X, you know?
Oh, hello everybody and welcome back to another interview. This time we have got the wonderful Emil and Mistic sitting with us. For those of you that don't know, Emil is Liquid's coach and Mistic is their controller. Emil, you've been with these guys coming up on 2 years now as well. Congratulations on the long run.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for coming out. Really appreciate you guys. I had a question as well, because you've been with Liquid a long time. You've been in the game even longer. You know, when did you first launch Valorant? Was it a day one activation for you?
I mean, okay, it was a day one,
Okay.
but at night. So as soon as you can get the beta, right?
Yeah, waiting for that key.
Bro, I sat there for like the whole day. I just never got a key. Everyone, all my friends just got keys.
Wait, who got it first, you or Eric?
I think it was Eric.
You didn't share?
I mean, why would he?
So much sharing in the past, right? One does keyboard, one does mouse.
Were you guys still living in the same place at that point?
No.
You couldn't pop into his room and have a look?
No.
Did he screen share or anything?
No, he just played.
Kept it to himself.
I mean,
that's why you got the head start. Just
okay, so that's why he's doing better than me now.
Angel was looking for you, so he doesn't have a key.
I mean, he's jobless.
In the beginning, we have different kind of objectives because I still wanted to play. So he wanted to coach, I still wanted to be a player. So it was a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, I know you were day one Mystic, right?
Yeah, day one.
Wait, you were?
Yeah. Oh. Got the tagging game. I don't know. Like I was just sitting, like you said, everyone was just sitting there trying to get a key off their favorite streamer. I was one of the first people to get it, and all my friends were just like fuming.
What game were you playing the day before? That's the real question.
Fortnite?
Maybe, I don't know. Like, I was
really?
He used to be pro in Fortnite, by the way.
Guys, this is waffle. Like,
yeah.
So when I signed
Fishy 1.0, it's the original.
When I signed to Fnatic, the Insta needed something to feed off of, so I was like, I don't know. I played Fortnite like, for a month, and she's like, yeah, Mystic's an ex-Fortnite player. I was like, no, I'm not. But it stuck with me.
What did you actually play before Valorant? Like, I actually don't know.
So I played whatever I found fun at the time. So I mean, I've got 3K hours in CS. Like PUBG a lot.
Roblox?
No, I wish, man. Roblox. I'm not in that generation yet. Like, that's the generation below me. I'm 22. Ask Kiko about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I played H1Z1, Battle Royale, which is the most fun I've ever had during gaming. So yeah, I played whatever was fun
Except
at the time.
Valorant.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
Safety net over here.
Yeah.
They caught you. But I was wondering, what were your expectations when you launched the game then? Was this just another game that you wanted to try out and play? Did you think for any moment, like it was a Riot game, there'll be an esports scene, obviously, that you wanted to maybe get involved? Like, where was your mind at?
I think I was just playing for fun, like I was with the other games. But like generally, I'm quite a competitive person. Yeah. Like with me and my friends at school, I always wanted to be the best, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so the fact that it was similar to CS, I wanted to get the highest rank at least. And then like I got, at the time it's called Valorant, which was the highest rank. I was like, okay, I want to play like maybe face it hubs and see if I can get into any like small tournaments. And yeah, that's pretty much, it just came to me naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so you didn't plan on being like a professional to begin with?
No, not at all. My parents were always like, get a job.
What was your first overlap with the pro scene then? Like, did you meet a player in ranked or in groups, or what happened?
So, yeah, I got into a thing called VPD, which is like a Faceit hub, and all the players from like CS who do have them ambitions and Overwatch who want to go pro and stuff like that. I just got into games with them and started like, and that's where I met like Boaster, for example, and yeah.
Not a bad connection to make.
Yeah. I always say I'm lucky, which I think I am, and then everyone's just like, no, you're in the right place, right time. You're good enough then.
Retired and everything like that.
Yeah. So.
And what happened to the playing career?
I didn't see him in the hub, that's for sure.
Okay, alright. Okay, here's the thing. So I played for like, I don't know, like a month, right? So we were scrimming, we had our team already. As soon as beta come, we made our team Fabric, and like it was pre-made before the game was released because we knew we were gonna try to make it pro from people come from Overwatch, whatever. So we scrimmed for like a month, and then we figured, or we were contacted by Meadow and Shadow, and they wanted to join. And then, I mean, they're better than me. So obviously I got removed from them, and I was like, I mean, I'm never gonna probably make it as a player still, because I still was playing at the time. And it's like, I'm just gonna try coaching. Just see how it feels. Coach with my brother. Just see how that dynamic works out, and here I am. So
You were coaching latex at one point as well, right?
yeah. So the team was me and my brother as coaches. There's no head coach or assistant coach. We're just doing everything together because it just works. Latex, Sipan, Meadow, Shadow, and last one was. How can't I remember this?
Oh no,
He was verified. That's what I remember.
the disrespect.
No, wait. Okay. It's because it's on right now. It's on camera.
Crazy.
It's performance anxiety. Because we had Nicola
happened,
at
yeah.
one point.
Yeah.
Shout out Nicola. Whatever you're doing
But
now.
not the other guy.
Wait, who did I miss? Fabriken. Anyone remember? Long time
Shadow,
ago.
Meadow,
We were like
Zipan, latex.
at one point #1 in Europe. Just saying. At one point in rankings. Okay, the top 3 around there. Okay.
4 out of the top 5 players.
Yeah.
And you forgot him.
All right. Whoever I will think about.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, please pull it up.
I will. Just thinking emergency.
Yeah, we're definitely editing this out.
We will definitely
No,
edit this out. Don't worry.
We can keep it real, honestly.
No, do you know what? It actually makes me feel so good that you forget some of these things from
Yeah.
people you played with. Because when I think back, I'm like, dude, I cast that event. Like, how do I not remember which 2 other players played for that team? But now it's more normal, I suppose. It's okay.
Maybe I just mentioned everyone, and that's it.
Latex, Nicola, Leo Dads.
That's it. Yeah.
No, so Leo was in the original one, but
Mhm.
then the actual lineup after that one got Sipan. I'm not sure Leo was playing then. Because
Shadow, Meadow, Leo, Nicola, Latex, Emil. Maybe you did mention everyone. Zipan.
Sipan. Yeah,
There you go. You got them all.
yeah, I got them all, except for Leo. But
Solid age, man.
I mean, we were good in the beginning. I'm just saying.
You were.
Yeah, we were
I
pretty
remember.
good.
I remember Fabriken. There was a lot of conversation as well. The players when they went other places, we'd be like, they were on Fabriken, like they had serious potential.
Funny,
But
because I think I remember playing you in I think it was a global loot league. Or GLL tournament.
G-Loot, yeah.
And we were destroying you on Haven. I think it was like 12-8. I was playing for a team called Mo's Mosque at the time, which was with a bunch of friends.
Surely you didn't win the whole.
Zipan swings C long on Haven, gets a collab with the Sheriff, and then you swing and win the game 13-12 or something, because back then it wasn't overtime. That actually sticks with
one
me.
round.
game.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
awful.
Okay,
the unrated system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I'm
And
sure
I
it
fully
happened.
remember it.
I'm
I
sure
fully
it
remember
happened.
it.
Honestly.
Because I have,
mad.
I'm still tilted. Fucking Zipan.
I bet he forgot all the games he won, but remembers that one.
Of course, that's how it works.
Well, like you made the switch to coaching, and obviously, like there was a little while before for both you guys. We'll touch on that with both of you before you guys got signed. And in the early days of Valorant, it's not even like I feel like streaming wasn't as accessible. Watch parties and that didn't really exist. The viewer base wasn't nearly where it is. So like monetizing and existing in the space, committing.
Wait, even
the time
getting
that
like
it took.
spots at events just came down to seemingly
Invites.
who you knew,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what org you were
We used to
on.
praise events for having one open qualifier slot. Like they would have one open and one closed
and not just
qualifier slot of
inviting
people that were.
Forza.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I remember.
You remember we playing?
Unlocked the memory now in my mind, actually. No, it was so tough back then.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I think the invites and what you know, like in the beginning of a game, this tournament organizer, they want all the orgs, right, to come. And,
Yeah,
like,
the numbers.
I can understand that. But it was just a lot about contacts. That's why, like in Fabriken, for example, we're lucky that we had the right contacts. Like we were in interviews with Fnatic, Liquid, we contacted Mad Lions, we contacted everyone, right, to pick up our team. So for the longest time, we were like in contact with all these different orgs to try to get signed, because it's like you said, money, like you're living off savings. Because we're playing like full-time, unsigned, right, trying to make it. So we needed to get signed. And in the end, an org's not going to take a chance on like a pre-built team, because an org in the beginning, they want to kind of make their own team, sign a coach, maybe IGL, and then build the team. That's why like, yeah. And I heard about Fnatic as well wanting, I don't know if it was Fnatic, but someone wanted Boaster and build from that. So it's like, okay, we're going to replace Latex with Boaster, and then, you know, take all our players, but with Boaster. We didn't feel that was like fair. We wanted to stay together and everyone goes together, right?
So instead they did that with Angel.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, you can only survive so long.
We did not want to do that.
It was nearly just
And then they did it.
Yeah. So in the end, it was like this FX came along. We had interviews. Like I had an interview with FX as well, and my brother, right? And my brother ended up getting the job. But yeah, I mean,
That's cold. they broke families
no,
apart.
okay. As a story about that, so these interviews we had with FX, so all of our team in Fabriken and all the Swedes, like we did this thing, like we went to a boost camp, okay? So we go up in Sweden to a house and like drink every day, play games, right? It's like a boost camp, but like a boost camp. And in this boost
Bring
camp,
back the old days.
I mean, we had interviews for FX in this boost camp. So first my brother, and then it was me, just in a room with camera there, little fucking everything.
Emil, can you go to room 19, please?
I can't get that reference.
And then at this boost camp, we found out that, okay, my brother got picked up and they want these players and Fabriken is basically like no more.
Yeah.
So we just drank some more, had some
I was
fun.
about to say, I was like, who
Yeah.
drank the most?
Played
Who
less
did that?
video games,
Yeah.
drank
At
more.
least you're in the right location when it
I
happened.
mean, it was in the right location, but it was pretty sad to be honest, because now we got split up. But you can only wait so long not getting paid. And when you get to play for this org with like Angel and a good core, why not? So
Yeah, I mean, talking about waiting so long before you get paid,
Yeah.
you guys ran it down. How was that for you? Like, obviously you were living at home at the time, right?
Yeah.
Before Fnatic.
Yeah, so I was living at home. My parents weren't happy that I was just sitting at home grinding Valorant. They wanted me to get a job.
Sitting at home playing video games, by the way, in the sunniest place in England, which is
Oi,
crazy.
he's read the-
Because we get it all the time. Go out and get fresh air. Can you imagine if it was sunny all the time?
Yeah, no. I mean, they say it's the sunniest, but it's England still. England's still England.
2 extra days of sun's a lot, man. Right?
It's like the warmest
I'm
place
from
in
Ireland.
Antarctica. It's like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, so I mean, for us, we actually did hold out. There was pressure of like, you know, we need money to survive. I mean, I was quite young, so I was living with my parents and was able to, you know, leech off of them for a little bit. But yeah, we turned down like orgs like Alliance and stuff like that.
Did you get any individual offers that you turned down? Because that's the thing I'm curious about. It's
yeah.
Obviously, people wanted to pick that team apart. A lot of you were unsigned. Were there any offers that you went, oh, that almost got me. That almost made me go.
Not that. I mean, there were like, so when someone was first made, there were like teams being like, nah, fuck them, come to us. And I was just like, I had full belief in the team. And then since then, it was like, because it's my first ever like competitive team environment that I've been a part of, I was just like, right, we've obviously started from the beginning together, let's end together, whatever. So yeah, like, I don't think any of us, even if they did approach us, we were like glue, right? We were never gonna leave because we put so much work in.
Yeah.
We just couldn't see ourselves like doing all of this just for us to fuck each other over, like kind of thing. So yeah. Speaking about First Strike, that was like the main big tournament, the first big tournament that we could actually express, like show ourselves in, because you know, the Ignition tournaments weren't giving out freebies to teams like Sage Ult, My Nan, FC. Like,
Yep, true.
Yeah, so
Luckily, you weren't known as that at the time. And that was a closely kept secret. I mean, even by Yinsu, which is impressive. She kept telling me, I know what it means. She was like, when you find out, you're not going to believe it. For months. I'd be like, Sue, you can't keep saying this to me. You have to tell me. I won't tell anyone. But
You
kept
would
it
have
closer.
told.
I would have, 100%.
Found out,
100%, everyone would have known.
You would have tweeted it.
She knew. My bad, Sue. I thought it was on private Twitter. My bad.
yeah, so actually, funnily enough, before the First Strike tournament even happened, we were approached by a few orgs, but Bosa was quite resilient, and he was like, we're going for Fnatic. Like,
Yeah, we were one of the ones that
Yeah,
approached you.
Alliance approached
I
us.
remember.
yeah,
And it was the right call, because I think you guys were being undervalued for your performance at the time. And then even if people gave you the value for your performance at the time, you had in your heads that you were better than that, which you were. So I was very glad that someone like Fnatic ended up picking you guys up.
yeah.
Well, what was the difference as well? Like, was there a day, maybe not the day after, but the week after, the month after, you're just like, I fucking made it.
I think it's as soon as I seen that contract.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, as soon as I got that contract, and I was actually able to show my parents that like,
I was like,
look, mom and dad,
It's on
I
paper,
actually did it. Now you can shut up.
I mean, your first team is Fnatic.
Yeah, my first
Getting
team.
signed.
Yeah.
Like for me, that's crazy because
Insane.
people go through like 10 teams before reaching like a Fnatic or Liquid or something like this.
Yeah, it's, I mean, new game. Like,
It's a talent. That's the thing.
natural
That's
talent.
it.
I
Right
do
place,
give
right
big
time,
props
right
to
skill.
Yeah.
I do give big props to Boaster and Mini because they really taught me a lot at the beginning, and without them, like I'd just be lost. I would not be where I am.
think-
I do think like if you look at his orgs, he's actually in like the most elite position of maybe any pro. Like it's genuinely insane that you're
Hard to beat.
Fnatic, Apex, Liquid.
Yeah,
I don't think you'll find three orgs that treat you much better than those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've had like a princess kind of story where I've had
yeah.
no issues with orgs, teammates, nothing like that. So, but then I'm hearing like these stories where people are like shouting at each
It's
other
like
for no
untainted,
reason.
you know what I mean? So, such a nice picture of esports in general now.
Yeah.
Like, all
So
right,
talking of
perfect.
NIP,
Well, moving on. Split 1. Let's take a little walk through memory lane. You guys come into Split 1 as a team, and your first game is your first week. Is 2 games. Obviously, everyone went through that in your group last split. But starting out the split with 2 games in 1 week, was that a challenge? Was that an advantage to hit the ground running? How did that feel for you guys?
I can't fully remember. I think we were happy to get the games out of the way because an update was going to happen or something like that.
That's true. Yeah, the 2-week updates.
Yeah.
I mean,
Another one.
I think that's happening again.
It is.
It is happening again. So, I mean, for me, I didn't really mind. I know that they experienced Hell Week last year.
yeah,
That was a mess, but
I mean, it was easier to have it in the beginning for me and for Bacon because if you have these 2 games in the beginning, you don't have to do anti on the teams, like 2 teams in a row the same week. If you have your 2 games at the end of the week, then you can prep much more for both of them, right? So it's more work. Maybe you have better games, but your hours goes up in terms of what you have to do.
Yeah.
So having it in the beginning was actually
Also, you would have the sort of pre-season as well, knowing like who you're going to play rather than what will be 1 week to try and edit for whatever you had from the last week.
I think it was good for us. And I mean, we didn't have the best split, to be honest, but I liked having it in the beginning. I think it was an advantage for us. Some people was like, oh, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry you have this 2 games in the beginning. I think it was good.
one of them was Koi as well, right?
You
So-
beat
yeah.
Koi and then lost to Foot 2 days later.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we played Koi like 2 times before that already, so like.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was it, right? I think you played them 2 times in a row.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
What
3 in a row or
tournament
3 out
was
of 4.
Yeah, I don't know what tournament.
I don't
it was.
remember. Was it kick something?
It's a lock slash in.
Nah, there was no luck. I've never been to Brazil, to be honest. I have no idea. So, yeah.
Well, coming out of that, you guys faced off against Navi. I don't know if you have much memory of that game, but it was a very close second map, and you were 1-0 up.
I think he has. I think he has a lot of memories of all of our losses.
Yeah,
Especially the one he cast.
Some more than others. Yeah, no. So that was, I believe, the day that I thought we were going to break the streak, which I found out recently, thank you to Adlin, that it's not true that I've never cast Enzo win a game. It's in VCT. Because in Ascension, I did cast you guys against Saw. You did win that game.
Oh, okay.
So I did experience one time saying Enzo won the series in an EMEA studio, but not in actual VCT. There, the curse remains.
And not in the new studio either.
Definitely not in the new studio. No, it's been rough out there. Every time you guys lose, you come up and you're just going, "Did you cast this?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry." It's like the second those rounds start going, you're like, "He's up there, isn't he?"
Yeah.
I will say, like, I know everyone on your team, and I like everyone on your team, but the way he acts when you guys are winning, there is a part of me that wants you to lose. It's just like,
Okay. Funny, right?
After you walked
The
out
reaction.
after the first map where you won, he walked out with the most swagger of any person I've ever seen. He was like fully like Conor McGregor style, like walking up to Ulysses and like they're gonna win this easy. Then I see him when you're winning that first half by miles, and he's got the fattest grin, and then I watch. You know, what's the Mr. Incredible meme where he slowly devolves? Like,
Yeah,
into
it's
Black
madness?
and white.
That was his face.
Yeah.
And I watched him scream at Ulysses after that second map, "Shut the fuck up." Like, he wasn't saying anything, just going, "Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, don't say anything, shut up, shut up, shut up." I think he feels it more than you guys.
Yeah,
which is
that's
insane.
Oh, no, that game was rough. That's for sure.
That was the first time we played split against them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had that defense half against them, right?
I mean, we were 5-3 up on a pistol round on 10-2, And I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, come on. If that's the reason, not the reason, but like the turning point. And I'm just like, okay.
Oh, it was a rough game. I wasn't happy after that game.
I could tell you weren't
I
happy.
was
Like we
not
got
happy.
bollocking in the room after.
Yeah, but also it's like I was more upset than usual because
It's his brother.
it's my brother and it's Navi and it's some sort of pride to me. So
Did you see on the way in that
Yeah,
day, they
they
had
had
like
the
the brother
tally.
head-to-head pictures and the
Yeah.
tallies and everything all around the studio?
Well, I think
like that was the day.
literally filmed
They
a
did
rock, paper,
You
scissors.
did the rock, paper,
like-
scissors.
because I was so preoccupied with so much to think about, and then I have to like do this rock paper scissors thing and coordinate that. I was like, I have so much in my mind right now. How am I
It
gonna do
was
this?
so
It was a
funny.
one take, right?
Oh yeah,
definitely one thing.
oh, so many takes of that.
There was one where I was lying on the floor in the middle of the stage because I couldn't believe. Basically, to go behind the camera, we faked it with two people behind telling them what to do, and he kept doing it wrong, even though he was being told what to
Well,
do.
first time was my bad. Second time,
He's gonna blame Stevie. I can't believe it.
no, either that or I was hallucinating. Okay. Right, I swear it wasn't my fault, but it was hard to do.
We're gonna have to pull you up with Stevie when we get in the studio. Settle this for once, once and for all.
I'm scared of him. So, no, he's probably right. So it's probably my bad. Okay.
We'll have a game of rock paper scissors to settle it. We won't script this one.
Jesus, no.
I am curious when you start losing like that, when you call a pause, when you take a moment, what do you say to the team? Because obviously you can see that like this is getting out of hand, but it must be difficult to kind of like stop that roller coaster from just continuing on the same path.
I mean, so having a minute is not enough to stop that generally, because you stop your momentum, but then also they have to then win either the next one or the round after that to then come back, right? I think in these moments, because we had this issue again against Navi, second time we played split as well, it's, I think, kind of having tools to stop a snowball, like, okay, let's maybe save a few ults and next round just use all 3 ults at the same time, win and come back, something like this. Because you can like tell them to calm down, just relax, or if you need to hype up, fucking, let's talk, come on, what are we doing, whatever. But I think having concrete tools of like, okay, do this, save these ults, or play aggressive, do some sort of move, don't be scared. Even though you're really down, you have to go and actually be proactive. You have to make something happen. Telling the boys to actually do something is the best choice, because that's a mistake I've done before, which is like I can feel they're stressed. And then I would be like, hey, relax, take it easy, it's fine, round by round, focus round by round, boys, right? But in the moment, it's like, how are they gonna relax? Look at the situation, they're on stage. They need like a actual solution. So that's something I'm beginning to think about, is like, if they snowball a bit, especially when they snowball, they start getting ults and ults and ults, and they start, every round they have another ult, right? It's really hard to deal with. Us having kind of like a solution for that, in the moment I can take a pause and remind them that solution. Stuff like this can be good, but generally it's really hard.
It's not really down to him, it's down to us, right? So and yeah, after that loss, I think that was a general that was a topic that we discussed like pretty much the following week. But yeah, during that game, it just felt like there was nothing that we could do after a certain point. It was super tough. People started like going for hero plays.
Yeah.
And then when you get shut down, go for a hero play, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that to begin with. But like I felt like I needed to do something, and then like, it's just snowballs.
Experience difference as well, because Navi is such an experienced team together.
Yeah.
So in these tight moments, high pressure moments, they are just relaxed, right? They've done it so many times. They just play their game. So you notice that. So like us as a new team, especially more back then, now I think we're a little bit better. We in these moments kind of start shaking a little bit, and about the like liquid choke, whatever. But you start getting this pressure, a little bit of shakes, and all of a sudden you're not the same team as you should be, and you don't realize that you can't get out of that state of mind until like the day after almost. It's really hard, and I think Navi in these moments we got all this experience and calmness behind them, where they just make it happen. So that's kind of, because I talked to my brother as well after the game. He's like, okay, you beat us in veto, more prep, but in the moment we're just more experienced. We just know how to compose ourselves in the situation, you know.
So something I kind of want to ask you about, and it's a different topic altogether. Do you think that you have the most successful Omen ults in the game?
Oh.
Because I remember even in that match, you pull off some shit where I'm like, even in a ranked game, that's risky. But it seems like you definitely have set plays that revolve around an ult that most people think is shit.
So that's the thing, is like we started actually trying to introduce set plays, and I would just die. Because people understand, like people
they're trying to do something.
People will understand, like, oh, they have an omen, they might try and do something. They expect the set play. So like usually when you see like me TPing into their spawn, that's just me like based off feeling, bro. Like
it's true.
It's like
same with your TPs as well. Like he does his thing, just omen blinds, TPs behind them. It's like a classical James play, you know.
I'll never forget the Sea Haven TP into an aftershock. Like that was one of the most insane plays I've ever seen in my life.
I hope you can play that. I don't think enough people have seen that clip, bro.
I'll find it, send it. Don't worry.
Yeah, so like when I TP into their spawn, I might see maybe like 3 of the enemy team on like a certain site, and I'm like, okay, well, usually one person's on B and maybe one's rotating. They're not gonna expect me to be in their spawn. I don't know. It just comes. I've played so much Omen now at this point, so I'm just like, I'm finding out more and more plays as I continue. So, yeah.
You guys mentioned what you do when things are going wrong, when those losses are coming in, those rounds aren't going your way, and you said you talked about it the next week. I thought it was funny because the next week you come up against Giants. It was an OT loss map 1. And you guys swept back into the series. Do you remember much from that game? And any memories stick with you?
Yeah, I remember on Lotus that we nearly had an insane comeback, to be honest.
Yeah.
Last map, first map.
It was like all clutches. It was like all like ridiculous. Enzo like with an Odin, the wall bangs from Yumpy. I think you had like
I had a 4K entry.
Yeah, you like TP'd into like a smoke.
What we're talking about. Yeah, this TP bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was actually a kind of a set play. So there are some set plays, but yeah, I think we were able to in that first map to show that we were able to actually have that resilience and that, you know, mental capability compared to Na'Vi. It just gave us a little bit of confidence going into the next 2 maps.
Okay.
So
it wasn't a lost map. We felt like, because with Lotus, even though we lost the map, in our minds it was a win. I feel like it was weird because I felt like when I looked back at the score, I was like, wait, we lost Lotus. Because in my mind, I was like, it was such a nice kind of comeback and a nice feeling afterwards. You know, you go backstage and you buy the toilet or my coaching room, and it's like, oh, the mood is really good. But it's like, I feel we had good resilience as a team, but maybe it wouldn't have happened if we didn't get these clutches as well. So we're kind of also kind of gifted by these guys with their skill. You get this kind of second win into you from his clutches, and then we just rode that kind of confidence throughout the whole game. So maybe if these clutches didn't happen, it wouldn't be the same. Maybe it would, I don't know. But I think that day, after that Lotus, we felt really good, to be honest.
Yeah. And ex-teammate of yours couldn't let you down.
Yeah, we couldn't let against the Eager, so yeah.
That was actually the day as well that security came into the green room, because I wasn't casting that game. I was just watching. I don't remember if it was game 1 of the day. I think it was. So we were casting the next one, so we're waiting to work. And security came in because I was screaming so loud at those clutches on Lotus. They genuinely came in and went, is everything okay? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. No, I'm not being murdered.
I know for a fact that Odin, Enzo Odin.
Yeah, that got me. That got me.
You'll hear Enzo! It's either you or Pauline.
Or both of us together, yeah. Well, then coming out of that, I think the next one was Heretics, and you guys lost pretty badly to Heretics. But look, you got to feel pretty gratified because they've won Masters by now. Hold on, I'm going to check.
Maybe.
I'll check the score.
I think this 1-1.
It was 1-1 last time I checked.
Oh, really? It's still 1-1. Okay. So by the time this video comes out, they will have won Masters, which is great. Yeah. So obviously that loss then doesn't look that bad in comparison. But I wanted to know, playing against them, aside from the scoreline, was there any tangible difference between these guys and the other competition? Because they seem to be so far ahead in terms of the system that they've built. I wonder how it is to sit opposite them on the stage.
I would say just right off the bat, just doing anti on them, looking how they play. They were the best team so far in terms of how they do their attack runs and how they do recalling. Like, I don't know, from last year, because we obviously did Anthem them last year. Okay, it was pretty easy and nothing special. And it's like, okay, not afraid at all.
Okay.
Now when we're doing anti, like we can see on like watch back Icebox before we play, when they play Icebox. It's so many steps, so much simulation of a util that is so, I don't know, so impressive.
Yeah.
Like we were watching it, me and Bacon. I was like, man, like we cannot play Icebox against them. Like we cannot play this map against them because the way they do their rounds and their defaults, and okay, they put simulate this util now, but now they go behind this util. Now they fake go behind, but they go the other side. It's like 2-step, 3-step, fake to fake, and it all makes sense. I was like, what is this team? Like, what is this? Who's IGL again? Like, what's going on? It's like I was so impressed, and like genuinely, like I was like, man, they're actually doing something so right. And kind of where we want to be as a team as well in terms of what we want to do. So yeah, I could notice right away for me. I'm like, okay, they're not gonna be easy team to beat.
Even before we played them, we used to play them, scrimming them a lot in the off season.
Yeah.
And they already had these ideas like way before they even started playing. So I was like, I was quite surprised, and it was either going to be them or KC from that I thought that were going to be like unreal, and it turns out both of them are pretty unreal. So
yeah.
Woot played his first game against us.
Yeah, so
right.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And that was his like debut against us as well. And we know about Woot for like a year ago already. Really good in scrims, right? So I mean, the way they play the game and the way they, because my style is a lot of like simulating a lot of steps and defaults and doing stuff properly and smart. So you can't read into it, you can't anti it. We're doing it like really good. I'm like, I'm just so impressed. And then having a firepower of like Woot and all of those guys.
Doing it with subs so consistently, like
shout out to him. Like, yeah, I'm
Patty over there now.
I think that's just a showcase of a good like fundamentals within that
good
team.
System, right?
Yeah,
like,
great system, because you're able to just slot him in and it works perfectly.
Yeah.
You're changing two roles, like putting Woot on the duelist and bringing in Patty Tech again. They're doing amazing right now. So.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's talking about doing amazing. Then that's a good segue. Because the next week, talk to me about Gentlemates. Y'all smashed them. Listen, I mean, I didn't feel any which way about it, but
no. You've not got any previous grievances there either, have you?
No, there's no reason for me to
friendly neutral game of Valorant. No history behind it.
I'm just here for a good game. And listen, it was a good game in your camp. Oh my goodness.
So
what happened there, man? Such a difference between when you guys last played them. Did the Vengeance arc from Ascension play any role?
I think for me personally, yeah.
Yeah?
I know that it was, I mean, the pressure wasn't really there because the odds of us actually making it to playoffs were quite slim. Yeah. But we knew that, like, if we were going to do anything, we are going to have to just smash them.
Was that when the odds were 3%?
3%. So we knew we had to
the
win.
liquid way.
Yeah. We had to win at least 2-0. We had to win at least 2-0. Yeah, I think we made some changes within the team to facilitate that. And yeah, I mean, that's probably for him to talk about.
I mean, so for this Gentleman's game, because it was 3%, we made the plan very, very, like it's the most specific plan I think we ever made for a team where stuff has to go right for it to work. Right? We knew a veto beforehand and we practiced like basically like 3 maps the whole week, nothing else. Like very specific on exactly what we need to do because we need to 2-0. We lose a map, it's over anyways.
Yeah.
So it was like such a gamble.
Just for context, for people that don't know, it wasn't, you didn't just need to win 2-0, right? You then needed like this other team to beat that team and them to lose by less than, like by not getting a map and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. Like if BBL took a map, it was over, just period. If they take one map and then 13-0, doesn't matter, you're out. Like it was crazy, the slim margin.
It was crazy, but those was like, all of that stuff, okay, we can't do anything about that. I don't know, like, we're like manifesting, like we have a big X on the floor and we're like, giant X.
We were like running circles around like this X on the floor so and we're like spiritually trying to like
actually
give them the energy.
So we're helping out with that. But
was that their first win also?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you needed them to get their first win of the
And
season.
Koi beat Vitality as well.
Yeah.
That was another one as well.
So
For both of their first wins, well, to help us.
For you guys.
Yeah.
Shout out the boys.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy, like, with the prep, you know, it's so specific. Just a couple of maps, and then we made changes within the team. It was very risky. So this whole plan for this week, and you know that, like, not all the players were kind of on my side as well with whatever it was, but we had to kind of take a risk and with the planning because we had to come with a win. You know?
With them, right? It was the Icebox comp. Was that because they're an anti-strat team? Because like you look at Existence, that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
He's the dude who's gonna break down everything you're doing.
Yeah.
So you pull out a comp that has no fucking anti-strat because it's like you're just gonna aim the shit out of
If he
them.
didn't come with a bunch of papers every time on screen,
Bunch of papers,
Yeah.
3.
and you see those papers, maybe we wouldn't have pulled this comp out because if he comes with all these papers. You're like, okay, so we have his standard like comp that like it's so easy on Icebox as well to do anti. It's a very easy map. So it's like I think once we found out the veto, we're in the prac room and we're talking all of us, and it's like, okay, like I don't want to swear, but like fuck it, let's just what do you guys want to play? Like, what's your comfort right now? What can we do that's just different? Because we're not gonna go over 2-0, play a map that we're gonna have full anti on. We know. I think they first picked Icebox, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I
it.
think I did.
We picked Lotus.
Yeah, because I wanted to be team A because of a 2-0. You have to be team A, right?
Yeah.
So they picked it, which means that okay, they have a plan. They probably practiced that whole week. With
And it
their
was one of
first
your
pick in
most
mind.
played maps
Yeah.
as well.
So they have a plan in mind for that whole week. They're for sure gonna practice a lot, and I mean, we just said, let's bring it out. And coming after that Lotus game, I mean, the confidence was just so high.
Yeah.
So you play confidence comp that they can't anti, so it has all these papers, right? And then you see, it's like, I have to throw it away, right? Like, and so imagine that Lotus loss, right? And you're already like, as a coach, I can imagine that, you know, you're upset, and then you see that comp bring out, like, you know, what can you do? So it just worked out.
You got a funny story about Existence and Ascension.
Yeah.
So when he was anti-stratting us at Apex, there's a clip of him in a bar at I think 1 a.m. with his laptop out, not socializing, just anti-stratting. So like the fact that you're like he comes with all these papers is kind of funny.
I mean, he works really hard. Like that's
laptop over there.
Yeah.
I felt better because I can feel the frustration, and they should have at least done better.
They should have done better.
I think they had a bad game as well.
But one of the nicest things I got from a clutch was on Lotus against them, because it was when I swung in B and I got 2. But I think that was the round for them to make them miss out on playoffs because they needed to get a certain amount of rounds.
Yes.
And that clutch was just to deny their access to playoffs. And I just see like 2 Gentlemates fans walk off the crowd, and I was like, I was just looking at them laughing.
It's done.
Yeah, like it reminded me of like, you know, football games where they leave like 5 minutes early.
Yeah. Well, you guys went on to face Fnatic, lost that game again, a very close game, very close series, and you know there's a bit of history there as well, as we touched on earlier. And I guess I'll include that in the question of like, how would you say this split went overall? Because that Fnatic loss, although it was in playoffs, there's no lower bracket for the first games of playoffs, so the system just sends you guys home, and that's it. But again, so many close games. Seems like things that you worked on week to week did get implemented. The Giants game, a good example of that. How would you guys assess the split one overall? Was it a success?
I mean, I don't know what's considered a success.
For you?
For me personally,
Don't think about what I'm thinking.
for me personally, I'd say no. We still have things to work on.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that passion and determination to get back to where I was at Fnatic, you know, making grand finals and stuff like that. So my ambition hasn't changed, and yeah, just gonna keep working to make that happen, I guess. But his corporate answer.
Corporate answer. No, I'll give a real answer actually. Like first half wasn't successful, but we found out things about each other in our team that was kind of working throughout the end. And for me, it's a success if you find out something good or you learn something and you improve, in my opinion. So yes, maybe split one, like I was happy we reached playoffs, but it wasn't that. It was 3% chance. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, we reached playoffs, but was it because of our performance, or did everything have to happen a certain way? So I wasn't happy about that, and also, last year performance, a lot of events and stuff, and now we're like gonna miss out, right? So not happy about that. But when I see improvement and I see good stuff and I see a certain direction we can go with that we kind of learned, I see that as something good, right?
So I wanted to ask, because obviously coaches right now seem on thin ice. Even coaches you're not expecting to
so
go.
I'm still here, so I'm happy.
I wanted to ask, like, obviously fan expectation, they put a lot of pressure on you directly. I would not want to be in your DMs, I'll be honest with you. But like, realistically, do you feel that yourself? Like, do you sit there and go, okay, if this next split goes bad, I'm screwed? Or do you look at it in a sense of like, okay, the org backs me, the players backs me, I don't care what anybody else thinks?
Ooh, I mean, real answer, start that prep to Gentlemates, right? If that didn't go well, then I kind of knew I was like gone. Because as every head coach has the same. It's like you have the performance of the team, and if it's not going well, then the org relies on you for the answers and what you're gonna do. And if it doesn't work, then of course that's the first one to go. That's always how it's gonna be. Maybe unless it's like a player change that makes sense firstly, right? You can still make it happen, still believe in a player change makes sense. Now with all these coaches getting like the great perch, right? I'm not gonna lie, in the break, right, I was like, uh-oh.
Another email came in, oh shit.
Like as soon as, because Salah got banished, my brother got banished. And as soon as my brother got the news, just made a group call and added me as well. I was like,
you're next.
it was like, you're next. Or like, Emil, how are we getting benched before you?
That's fucked up, bro.
No, we're friends. We're friends.
But
all just came after me. I'm like sitting like, yes, I'm just like, I don't know.
They deserve it now. They deserve it.
So I mean, of course, like, of course I'm scared, but I'm also like, first split, I was thinking more about that, because I think first split in the prep, I was much more stressed. Maybe you noticed on me, I was way more stressed. Now after the break and for this split, I'm like, I'm taking more laid back role. I'm trying to work on myself, work out, eat healthy. Like I care, but I also try to like, whatever happens, do my best, because this stress you have, any head coach has, it's not healthy long term. That's why I see people often taking like a year off or stuff like this. So
I feel like your brother's giving you a little bit of a new perspective.
Oh yeah, he is.
Because he's kind of enjoying it.
He gets to sleep. I think he might, over the last 3 years, might have had the least sleep of any person I've ever met.
Yeah, he gets to finally sleep.
That guy worked hard.
He's been stressed, and when he found out the news, I think obviously he's sad.
Yeah.
But a part of him was like, okay, now I'm forced to take a break, because he wanted a break for a long time. Like he already after the last season, he was like, should I take a break? Should I not? I'm feeling burnt out. So it was like the universe telling him to do it anyways, or Navi. So I don't think it was deserved. I think he should have stayed. Whatever. Obviously, he thinks the same, but also now he has the opportunity to like work on himself, go and touch grass. He's gonna go to some.
He can leave the dungeon.
He's gonna go on a hiking trip to Switzerland in like 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, wow. You go do you. I'll be stuck here in Berlin, So he's okay, but yeah.
I feel like you're trying to make an exit plan here.
No, I'm not making an exit plan. No,
it's like I got 2 weeks to get kicked. There's a hiking trip going.
I'm not even sure we can replace him this season anyway, so I can fuck you guys up before I leave.
Split 2, he comes in. That icebox comp, I've brought it to every map. Let's go.
Nah, it's okay.
New
It's
meta.
okay.
Talking to Splatoon, have you guys put much thought into what it will take for a Champs run? Like, where are your goals at right now? And do you think it's a realistic goal to have Champs as something you need to hit?
I mean, anything but Champs is a failure.
That's our view on it. I think that right now we're working super hard now, but we took a little bit of a break. We had like a week and a half, 2 weeks or something like that.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, we had like a 2-week break because I feel like we're in a position where the rest is going to help us. Like, and just, I don't know, feeling out the vibe and just playing like with a good vibe, because I think that we play the best when the vibe is good and we're all happy. And for example, the difference when you were talking about the Navi and a Giants game, I feel like in the Navi game we weren't having fun, so I was just like, fuck this, guys, let's just have fun. Like, let's have fun. In the Giants game we were actually having fun. Even after the Lotus loss, we were still happy, like Emil was saying. So I think for me personally, I think it's just, you know, getting back on our feet, and because we have the players, like on paper, like we have the players, and it's just whatever it takes to make that machine work.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a different approach now. We took that break, and coming back, we kind of limit ourselves in terms of how much prep time we can have, because we have this habit of like
over prepping,
overdoing stuff, too much ante, too many rounds, and we play the best right now if it's like off feeling. You know, we in the moment see the game, and in the moment we adapt instead of having 1,000 protocols. If you see this, do this. If you see that, do that. Every single thing laid out, every ult laid out. It needs to be a little bit of like, in Sweden we say like ball feeling, you know, you can kick a ball very easily. It's like, not that ball feeling.
That's exactly what I thought you were talking about.
Shout out Safe, by the way, he always said this. But you have to... But you have to have ball
Coach,
feeling.
what we need is some ball feeling on this team. There's nothing but ball feeling, you know? I can see him saying that, actually.
Yeah, but
somehow that makes sense.
But you have to.
What a nice laid-back approach. Right?
Yeah, but you have to feel it. You know, you have to grab
This
it.
is not getting better.
You have to feel the ball. I see.
Okay,
You have to work it hard.
Really feel. Oh yeah.
You get my point, right? So you
You can't let it slip.
We should do this to the cast as well.
Okay,
Make
okay.
sure we have
What's
all
a
the
ball feeling in future?
Yeah.
You'll see us up
We
in
can
that
show you
cast.
guys after if you want.
Listen, pause that camera for a second.
No. Well, you can't be robots. That's what I'm trying to say. Ask more. Yeah.
They don't have balls.
There's no ball feeling of robots. That's true.
Or that maybe they're actually good at ball feeling.
Let's move on.
I don't know. I actually don't know how we got here. I don't know what occurred.
What are we talking about? Champs? Or,
Oh God. No, but I think to summarize the part before the ball feeling, Clove has a voice line where they say that overthinking's just as bad as underthinking. That's my impression of Cairo, not of Clove. But
It was not Scottish.
it was pretty good. Cairo has improved my Scottish
it went
accent, so
Aussie
I'm
at
pretty
the
sure that
end.
was perfect. But yeah, I think that's a fair takeaway. I gotta say the ball feeling threw me way off. Okay. So you're going to be coming up against Vitality, and they've just made a change with Gorilla coming into the coaching role. Do you think that's going to have any impact on your prep for them and on them as a team? Do you see that as a disadvantage for them? New coaching staff in there, new feel to the team backstage?
I don't know. I think we're gonna be the same team. I think it's hard because Gorilla worked with them anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So
internal promotion.
If it's gonna be a change? Then Gorilla has to okay, I have my way I want to do things I've been thinking about beforehand and implementing that. But you can do that as assistant coach to a head coach anyways. You can say, hey, can we try this? Yeah. So I'm not sure anything will change in terms of prepping. Like, we cannot really prep for them because we have time to change comps and change playstyle, new rounds. So it's always better in these moments just to go in and do our stuff.
Play your own game.
Yeah.
I have a question on that because obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, after week 1, we switched to the newest update, which has quite a lot of meta changes. So how do you actually prep? Because obviously for week 1, you're going to have a completely different set for week 2 because we know that Neon's been crazy buffed. You've had what, buffs to Reyna, buffs to ISO, like...
You don't have to play Heretics
it's
again, I guess. That's
kind of
That's good.
drastic.
Sunset,
So,
yeah.
do you ever like have to almost start prepping 2 different things at once to be ready for week 2 and week 1?
So I think we've slightly looked into Neon, and we've got Kiko just using 1 stun only. Yeah. And then it's like we're forcing him to only buy 1 stun. Right. But yeah, it's something that we're kind of exploring and thinking about. But for now, we're just focusing on the current patch. We know that Haven is going to be coming in week 2. So we will probably just approach that closer to it.
Oh, we don't know how Haven is going to look like
it
yet with the changes.
changes. Yeah, it should be. I mean, you'd imagine there's going to
And
be.
there'll be the new map as well,
Yeah.
which is only being released today, I believe.
Abyss,
So
Right now, yeah.
yeah.
It's so hard with this, like, thank you Riot for doing this to us, but like it's because we only have like a small amount of games, right? And we have to kind of win. Hello, Fly.
Oh, no.
So
it's not me. I'm not smiling.
it's you, James. So it means that we have to. If you prep 2 things at the same time, you might lose out on prep time for that first game. And the first game is the most important game to win. It sets the tone. It sets everything. Yeah. So it's a risk to ignore this first game to go for the others, because this first game is so important. Luckily, we have like a week after to do whatever we want to do as well. So, I mean, it's going to have to be us prepping with this patch for the first game. At the same time, kind of pre-prepping what we want to do when the patch hits, have a plan in mind already. So as soon as after that game is done, we know what we want to do, right? So you kind of have to be smart, but also you can't overthink it as well, because I don't think you need more than maybe a week or 2 to kind of get ready, to be honest. So.
And what BBL you're up against, they've we talked about Woot earlier. From what I hear, they've signed the coach who found Woot.
And Yetaje.
And Yetaje.
I don't know if he found them. I know that he was the one who was teaching them everything to make them, if anything, that's worse. He was,
Yeah, that's
he
more
made
scary.
them.
Yeah.
He made them.
He made them. And I've heard that from
Nervous?
Yetaje. I've heard that from Yetaje himself. And I think it was Baki, the manager of Foot, was hyping him up a lot. So if your Turkish rivals hyping you up, you're probably quite good at your job.
Must be. I mean, that's you're gonna be paying attention to their week 1 game. I'll tell you
definitely.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Even in Ascension last year, I was so happy Woot didn't make it to Ascension. I was just so happy because I knew I was watching this kid.
Fireflux are out.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, I was watching this kid and I was like, man, he's unreal.
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. He actually. I'm very bad with like paying attention to who's done what in the scene. Like I'm the worst. You ask me anything about the NA teams or anything, I'm like, who's on what team? I have no idea. I'm just super focused on what we need to do here.
Server.
Yeah, and then after that, I'm like, oh, I'll play TFT, you know? So, but yeah, if he's responsible for them, then obviously, like, it's
serious business.
It's an upgrade, right?
Yeah. You guys finish out with KC Fnatic. Do you prefer to have those, I'm going to say on paper, tougher games at the start or the end of a split like this?
I love it. Like, I've got my history of both of those teams, so I'm ready to put Magnum down. I'm ready to actually finally get my revenge on Fnatic. So.
Yeah. Make them rue the day.
Yeah, exactly.
I think at the end is easier, no? Because I think Fnatic is not easy to anti, but I think Fnatic is like easier to anti and play against than other teams. So I like to have like footage of them. And now Min is gonna never scream me again, but I like that footage of them so we can see what.
I don't think we've ever screamed Fnatic. They still blacklisted me.
Never screamed.
I don't. Yeah. Literally never. Years.
Never. The last official is the first time I played against them since I've left. So.
Played them start of before kickoff last season.
I think their reasoning behind it is that the scrim won't be as productive because Durka's gonna try and knife me, and I'm gonna try and knife Durka, you know, kind of thing. Like I see why they've done it, but like,
fair enough. That does make sense. But is that normal as well? That I assume they scrim other top teams, right?
Yeah, no, they do. It's just
okay.
It's just me.
It's just you.
It's just me,
the little kryptonite.
So it's you. I was wondering. I've never booked.
Did they scrim you when you were in Apex?
No.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really
wow.
weird.
It is-
That
is
makes
you.
no sense because I heard like pretty much
We
everyone's
were the best
Well,
practice
the
for
best practice partners
for the tier
ever.
1 teams
Yeah.
because they weren't playing against us and we were performing pretty well. So
Very
Well,
try-harding.
and you guys
I guess.
have partnered, like Liquid have partnered up with Apex right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's clearly a decent relationship between Apex and tier 1 teams. Just they don't want to play you.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly scared.
Yeah, must be. Listen, I mean, that's sort of our look forward at Split 2. And, we finished out our previous interview asking about goals. I think you've already given those, right? It's a champs run. It's making it deep, continuing to build on last season. I had a question, though, because I saw the piece you guys did with Liquid. And in it, you're saying you live with Nats, Mystic, and that he's very low maintenance. You were happy to have him because he's so low maintenance. That's pretty good. But I was wondering, and both you can answer differently, who's the most high maintenance person on the Liquid team?
Elias, maybe?
Yeah, it's Jumpy.
Yeah?
Elias.
For sure, Jumpy.
He's got to have his smoothie in the morning. He has to have this certain amount of sleep.
Every time over 8 hours. Otherwise, he can't function.
He needs this amount of coffee.
And if he had one shot of espresso too much in his coffee, then his day is ruined.
So the guy who used to play Judge is very meticulous. Never would have imagined.
There you go. Swings
A
around
Finnish
us.
psycho,
He's in a good way. He's living healthy. He's like working out, but also he's I think he has stuff has to be in a good way for him.
I think we're making it worse. We're making it sound
yeah,
worse than it
yeah,
actually
of
is. Like,
course.
It's not
genuinely,
that
like the team is sound. Like
Yeah.
I've been blessed again with my third team. Everyone's normal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Magnum?
Yeah.
I love him. I love him, but I'd never call him normal.
Yeah, actually, he's caught me out on that.
I wouldn't insult him because he's special. He's special.
Okay. Well,
we go.
normal team environment.
Okay.
The people like magnificent.
Shadow normal?
Actually has right. I retract my statement. This guy makes banana and ham sandwiches.
Yeah,
Never
that's
mind.
fucked up. That is
fucked up.
actually fucked up. Okay.
Unacceptable, honestly.
I couldn't believe that man was real. And they started sending me pictures of it. It's like that's out of line. To
It's
be honest,
actually
I
wild.
don't want to see that
It's
shit.
wild,
Keep
but
that
yeah.
in your home.
That's
I mean,
explicit selfie.
There's
that
no
he's taken
toxicity, nothing like that. So I'm kind of I'm happy that I haven't had to be a part of it.
Okay. Have you gotten around to sampling Nats' skincare routine yet?
Oh, well, to be honest, I like in our bathroom we have like a shelf. Like 10% of it mine. Like 90% of it is his skincare, and I'm like, what? Like, what does this guy even do?
Wow.
I mean, you should look at his skin; it's unreal.
It must be. It must
is
be at
unreal.
this rate. It takes a village to keep
But
it going.
yeah, like he's always in his he's just chilling in his room. So he doesn't really play or do anything or listen to music, nothing at home. He's just when he's at home, he's relaxing. So I'm in my room. I'm afraid that I'm being a little bit too loud for him. I feel like I'm a little bit.
On his days off, if one day off a week, that's usually we just have one day off.
Yeah.
I think he just lies in his bed.
Yeah.
Like that's it, because he works so hard. We have 6 days of work, and he's like rests for like the whole day. Like
He streams a lot as well.
Yeah.
Like this guy is a robot, man.
I was about to say, it sounds like he's recharged.
This guy is a robot.
50%.
I've never seen anything like him before. Like I've played with Bosa, and I always said that he is one of the most hardworking players I've played with.
100%.
But Nats is up there too. Like I'm so surprised.
Yeah.
Like if not, I think he works a little bit harder than Bosa.
he's doing his school.
That's a claim. That is a claim.
He's doing schoolwork as well.
Yeah, he's gonna be a lawyer. So
He's doing exams right now. Yeah.
he's doing
Holy
his
shit,
thing.
okay.
What's it called in English? Dissertation.
I have no idea.
Is that the thing when it's
Dissertation, yeah. That's what you do
He's
for your
doing,
degree.
that's
I mean,
what
a law degree is hard to do as a full-time thing,
He's
let
doing that right
alone.
now. So he has that in a week. His dissertation,
Wow.
and he's doing that on top of a lot of things. So
That's
Big
incredible.
credits to him. Big
Yeah.
credits to him.
Yeah, absolutely. What the hell? Well,
I feel
think-
like an underachiever.
No, trust me. I feel like I'm an underachiever.
No,
I'm working like 8 hours a day, coming home playing 2 ranks, watching a VOD, and I'm like, yeah, but he's streaming as well.
That's the thing. They are really good, because we had I told you like a hell week, right? We play 6 scrims with everything, and then they have homework. They have to watch like every day. They have to watch a VOD, write to me their conclusions round to round. They have to play ranked. It's really tough for them, and I realized myself, I'm around these guys all the time. I get used to it, and when I come home, and it's like I realize how much you guys work and what you can achieve and how smart you guys are. You have to be in this level. So I think it gets normalized in this team environment, in this higher level. Everyone is good. When everyone's good, no one's good, right? And you focus on this one guy like Ayas that does like everything. But I think people forget that they do work a lot. So everyone, there's something.
It's like a proud papa.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, it's impressive.
I'll say then one last thing before we let you guys go is about we started off back in the day, the Summon FC, the Fabriken, and obviously there's a big difference between back then. I mean, we had COVID back then, first of all, but even the size of the scene, everything like that. What's the main difference for you guys looking back into the past and now? Like or rather, I guess, what's been the best change in your mind, going from not seeing anybody to now you're living in the same cities, you're competing in front of the crowds, you're doing interviews, you know, we're all in the same city, all this sort of stuff. What have you enjoyed seeing the most? Breathing the same air.
I think as soon as the crowds came into play, that was my most enjoyable moment. Like going from playing online and stuff like that, which I actually did enjoy. But then going to stage where I think it was in Copenhagen was the first crowd games. It was surreal to me because it's always been a dream of mine watching like CS professionals like back in the day, being like, yeah, like I just want to be a part of that, man. And then it actually just finally happened. Like Turkey was crazy because we had Alpha on the team as well, like home crowd, man. Like I walking out the stage and then the announcer says Mistic and everyone's cheering. I'm like, it's so surreal. So surreal to me.
I don't get why, like, okay, for me, in Turkey, when I was actually on stage as a coach. I was like, that's so awesome, amazing. But then the others, like we had in Tokyo and in LA, I'm like in a little...
In the back.
In the back. I was like, it's so sad. When I was on stage in Istanbul, it was like, I guess.
I think they've brought it back now.
They brought it back now. It's such a good feeling. And
we need a Masters London. That's what we need.
Oh, do you know what I'm gonna say if we win and then they pass me the mic? The first thing I'm gonna say, what do you think of Tottenham?
No, you're not. I'll rugby tackle you off the stage, and I'll bounce off.
Are you a Tottenham supporter? Or
Yes, I am.
100% I'm thinking now.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. I look forward to it. He's been talking about a London event forever. I feel like he knows something.
It's the dream.
He's got some inside info over there.
I'd be able to actually live at home.
Oh, yeah.
So you come back to my place
for a couple of weeks.
soak up the sun.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. Well, boys, listen, I'll let you guys go and soak up the sun. It's a beautiful day out there. We've got a final. Let's do a quick check on if we've had a result, any changes. 2-1 to Heretics right now.
Oh my god.
13-9 on Icebox, 13-9 on Ascent. Say what you want. Consistent.
So they won on Icebox.
Wow.
I said their Icebox is incredible.
Yeah, don't play them on Icebox.
I'm saying it like I'll watch it, okay?
It's done, baby.
So what's the last two maps?
The last two maps are, drum roll please, Lotus right now, 3-1 to Heretics, and Split. So we're in good form.
I think they're closing it out now, no?
That part
Start to play the clown music when they lose.
Yeah, this would be embarrassing. We'll lose this recording if that happens. But yeah, guys, honestly, thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate you for coming over to our area. And thank you for the present. We'll keep the horse around. It'll be in the background. For now, though, that's the end of our interview here. We'll let these gentlemen go. We'll see you guys next time.